Hey, Jefferson County, Chris Lowery here, your independent candidate for Jefferson County Sheriff. This is our weekly live. Came on here a few minutes early, give an opportunity for folks to come on in, tap in, share, like. Let's have a great discussion this evening. Give me just a second while I look at some things on the phone, get some people on here to like and share, like and share. Let's get as many people on here as we possibly can. It's been a great week. Hang on, there we go. Get some people on here to like it. Hey, again, this is Chris Lowery, your independent candidate for Jefferson County Sheriff. Let's get some folks on here and let's have some comments going tonight. Great discussions. We're going to have an open discussion where all conversations are open and we can answer any questions that you have as long as we do it in a respectful manner. We can get to know one another a little bit better, talk more about my platform and some of the happenings that's going on within Jefferson County. Let's see here. All right. Hey, Sean, welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hey, Pam, thanks for coming on in. Again, this is Chris Lowery, your independent candidate for Jefferson County Sheriff, going live every Monday at 6 p.m. This week is a little rushed. Just got back from a small, quick vacation. Just got in about 2 hours ago, so we were gone for about 4 days. And just got back in. I told Kathy, I said, I got to get home so I can get on this live and get back to everybody in Jefferson County and discuss some issues going on there. Anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. As always, when you come into my live, all you got to do is tap in your questions, type them in the comments. I'll be glad to answer them. I live and breathe by simply saying this, is that no question is too tough to be answered and every question deserves to be an answer. The only thing that I ask is that you come on here and you ask it, professionally, or let's not, create no hostilities. That will not be tolerated on Chris Lowery's live. This is my live where we have a real talk for real change conversation about Jefferson County and Jefferson County politics and the Jefferson County community as a whole. It does not matter if we talk about Pine Bluff, Whitehall, Redfield, unincorporated or small municipality areas. We talk about the whole encompassing of Jefferson County. So anyway, as we get some more folks on here, make sure you like and share it. So it's been a great week. Spent a majority of last week out campaigning. Went down into the Humphrey and Wabaseka area, did some door knocking, and met some great people out there. And the message stayed the same. Every time I go out there in the unincorporated areas, I'm hearing things like they're not seeing deputies, they're not seeing a presence. They don't feel like they're getting the coverage that they deserve, and they just are wanting change. They're not feeling like they are part of Jefferson County as related to the sheriff's office as the people I spoke to. So there's that. That was part of last week, and like I said, I just got back off of a vacation, so we were now back on the ground and doing everything we can do to earn your vote and answer your questions and get to know us. So let's see. Let me ask. I want to give you some days for sure. Let's see. So what I'm looking up now is the exact total number of days. Like I said, I just got back off vacation where I was gone for about 4 days. So we're 78 days away from the election, 78 days away from having you guys cast your vote. And hey, Lee, and George, welcome. So we're 78 days away. And so the reason why that's important is because we're on the downhill side of this thing. We've got to be full steam ahead. And I need all of my followers, all of my supporters to keep pressing forward. And, you hear me say this time and time again, but I really need you to go out and spread the word. Let me know if there's a specific organization or group you talk to. If you just need me to come talk to your neighbor, your church group, whatever, just please spread the word. So let's see, we got a question right there. If you get elected, I want to know what would be the first task you take on to get the place on the right track. Great question, George. So I've been pretty open about this. The very first thing I plan on doing is the moment I swear in 5 minutes of assuming Sheriff of Jefferson County, is I will be headed to the Dub Brazel Detention Center. My intentions are to head up there after midnight on January 1st so that we can immediately put an impact on there to start getting some contraband out of there, making it safe and humane for the detainees and inmates, detainees, the sentenced and unsentenced, as well as the employees, right? So that's priority one, because I can do that in the middle of the night when I swear into office, right? So that's the very first thing I want to do. But I'm not really listing them as 1A or 1, 2, 3, 4. It's more like 1A, 1B, 1C. So that, and then I am going to immediately make an assessment. If I don't have access to the records prior to January 1st, I will have access to those records on January 1st. And so we will be making a complete and total review of the current manning document as related to where employees and deputies are placed based off of workload. And we will be putting more, I call it butts and seats. We're going to be getting more patrol cars out on the road in these unincorporated areas and having a larger presence throughout Jefferson County. They currently work roughly about 2 deputies on the road at a time. And I have a goal to double or triple that. So without no expense, or no, let me say, I don't want to say no, everything comes with an expense, but without no increase in budgets. Let me put it that way. That's my plan on doing. I'm not asking for any increases in the budget to be able to do that. I don't want to put any more financial burden on the taxpayers of Jefferson County. I am wanting to put, and I'm going to be able to put more people on the road. So I realize words matter. And somebody I saw quoted me on a Facebook post today, and I absolutely have said this time and time again. But you cannot police from behind a desk, but you can detect from a police car, right? So the goal there as a 1A would be to put more people on the streets, more butts in cars, to get them into Jefferson County and providing a full-fledged service for all citizens of Jefferson County. Matter of fact, just today, I was on my way back from New Orleans and received a telephone call from someone north of the river who's telling me, Mr. Lowery, we're just not getting any coverage out here. It said we get our side-by-side stolen, we get our cars stolen. Yep, Tizzy, that was you. I read that in a post. Yeah, so said we get our side-by-side stolen, and we don't get reports, or nobody comes out. And they said, matter of fact, I'll quote exactly what they said. They said, if you want to see a deputy in this area, go look behind the church, because that's where they're parked at. And I'll be the first to tell you that if you're parking behind a building, not being seen out in public as a law enforcement officer, you're wrong, because you need to be proactively out there, be seen, be in and out the community, proactively enforcing the laws, traffic stops, criminal interdiction, and community-oriented policing. Get out in these neighborhoods, go out and see these farmers in these rural communities, and let's build those relationships. So, George, that's 1A, right? So I have a whole list of things that I'll be knocking out one at a time. I have a 30, 60, 90-day plan that involves into a 6-month year plan. But yeah, absolutely, that's where we're looking at starting. Thanks for the great question. So anyway, let's talk about some things. So one of the things that I have noticed over this campaign, and if you've been following me for some time, I think I announced initially in September that I was going to be running for Jefferson County Sheriff as an independent candidate in the 2026 race. I felt like I needed that much time to be able to get out into the community and have people really understand and get to know me. And so far, it has been phenomenal. We are getting a lot of people coming out behind us, standing up and saying it loud and proud. One of the things, though, that I've noticed, and I'm going to ask each one of you to, and I'm speaking directly to these people as well, but I'm going to ask each one of my followers to help me out with this. So there are still some people out there that say certain things that are just completely untrue. They say things that they never met me. They've never had a conversation with me. They've never had an interaction with me, but they've read something or heard something, and they think that the current sheriff would be better than me based off what they think they know or what they heard. And I hate that we're at a situation where that happens. So I encourage those people. You have 78 days. I'm sorry, I apologize. Yes, you have 78 days before you cast that vote, before the last day to cast that vote. There's early voting before that, 2 weeks before that. So, but I hate that we've gotten in this situation that there are some people that are willing to make their decision to spend one of their most precious rights as an American citizen is to hold against a candidate that they've never had a conversation with, that they've never interacted with, so forth and so on. So I just hope and would encourage each and every person to meet their candidates for whatever race they're in and make the most informed decision that they can. So that's what we got to do to be a better Jefferson County. I like to call it move the rock. It's going to take me and you to move a rock. We move a much bigger rock when we have a whole bunch of people behind us, right? And so that's what we want to do is to be able to have an accountable crime team, meaning we're going to be tough and accountable on crime, that we're going to be enforcing the laws with an open jail, that if you commit a law violation where there has been probable cause for a law enforcement officer to arrest you and they take you to the Dove Brazel Detention Center, we will process you. We will take your fingerprints. We will photograph you. We will enter you into the AFIS system. And that's on warrants or crime. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're required to do. Unlike what's been going on here for the past several years, where they let criminals just walk out. Well, they literally will refuse to take some people into that jail and hold them accountable, which turns into a warrant, which I know people will say, well, they just issue a warrant for them. But then I'm just telling you, as an experienced law enforcement officer that works in this community, and when they have that warrant and I stop them for the warrant and they say, well, we're not taking the warrant. So at what point do we hold these people accountable? They'll call them petty thefts or misdemeanor crimes, but it's still crime. And small crime leads to big crime, which is the broken window theory, right? And so, but that's what we will be doing is if there's a probable cause arrest made on an individual in Jefferson County through a duly sworn law enforcement officer working for an agency, we will hold them, process them into the Dove Brazel Detention Center until the processing is done. And then based off of other circumstances, bed availability, security, so forth and so on, we will, make decisions as we need be. But that jail will be open for processing of every crime that a law enforcement officer in Jefferson County determines that they've had probable cause to make that arrest. Because the way I look at it, and the way I hope you look at it, is those people are owed their day in court. We're not saying they're guilty, but these sworn officers are risking their lives every day to be out here to uphold the Constitution of the United States, the laws, and the Constitution of the state of Arkansas. And when they're doing that, and then they're making these lawful arrests, and then the person is just walking back out on the street without anything, it's not fair to the community. It's not fair to the officers. It's not fair to our judicial system. And it creates a whole problem that I believe has just overran our system with unaccounted for crimes, right? So that's part of that. Looks like we got a couple questions there. So let's see. It is starting to be very telling about those areas that haven't been getting service for so long. It matters once it is time to vote. Absolutely. I just got on. Any chance if you become sheriff, any chance county can run radar in southwest part of Pine Bluff? Evidently, Pine Bluff doesn't, and speeding and tailgating is unreal, and good luck. So absolutely, Ronnie. I would tell you this. So I've been very, very clear about this, is that sheriff's deputies underneath my administration will work the entire county. They won't just work unincorporated areas. They won't just work outside of city limits. Every town, every municipality is in Jefferson County. Every one of those people that are eligible to vote are citizens of Jefferson County, and they got to vote, so they're owed a service. So absolutely. The short answer to you is there a chance that I could have people run radar in the southwest part of Pine Bluff? Absolutely. Let me explain to you how that would work. Number one, I don't know what all equipment they have, but if they don't have radars, we'll make sure that we end up getting those one way or the other. Secondly, make sure you got certified people in the radars. Take in your complaints, such as what you got right there, and then set up strategic traffic enforcement in those high traffic areas. But it's also with partnering with these other municipalities. That goes into my 1B program. So I talk about accountability, tough on crime, safe, efficient jail operations, and then collaboration and cooperation with all of our local, state, and federal agencies. So I will meet with every one of these chiefs in these departments and find out how we as a sheriff's office can help them. And then I will let them know how they can help us, and we can collaborate together to combat the issues that are going on within Jefferson County. This is far more than one agency, one person can fix. I promise you that. So absolutely, Ronnie, there is where I always say this. If you haven't been listening to me for a long time, that's fine. I'm welcome. Thank you for coming in. But I always say I don't accept no's real well. I figure how we get to a yes if it's what's for the better good, right? So if there's a reason why we couldn't do that, I would like to know why, and then let's fix it where we can. But I don't see any reason why that couldn't happen almost immediately, given equipment, manning, and known complaints, right? So combined with training as well. So at least you can speak for yourself about things, and ain't nobody talking for you when the tough questions come. So that's transparency and accountability. Yeah, TZ, thank you for that. I mean, that's one of the things that I've said time and time again. I'm open to answer any question that people's got about me, and discuss things. Just got to do it in a mature adult way. We're not going to do it argumentative, and I'm not going to get in a he said, she said situation. And then, we'll just talk about it. And if they disagree with me, it is what it is. But at least at that point, they've had a conversation, had an interaction with me, and had the ability to make an informed decision and heard what my answers are. So let's see. Linda, yes, the broken window has proven to be to reduce crime, transparency, accountability, and yes, they are backlogging the court systems. Yes, that's those of you who don't know. It's called the broken window theory. We use it a lot in law enforcement. But what that means is, imagine a vacant house. So if somebody moved out, let's just say you moved out of your house right now and nobody occupied it after you left. Over time, if someone breaks one of the windows, one of the living room windows in that house that you vacated, and then nobody fixes it, then somebody else comes along and they see a broken window and they think it's okay to break another window, and then another, and then another. And then next thing you know, air conditioners get stolen, property gets devalued, crime starts happening, and then it becomes a dilapidated eyesore amongst the community. So, but if you fix that window and take pride in that, that prevents other damages and crimes to happen on that particular property. That's an analogy that we use on the broken window theory. And so that's what I feel like has happened here. Because I'm telling you firsthand, that I experience that daily about people knowing that the jail's closed. They know the warrants aren't going to get served, and they know they're not going to jail. I mean, I when I work, I hear that almost daily. They know it. The criminals know it as well. So, Belinda, thank you so much. Saying I got your vote. Thank you so much. Ronnie, thank you. Ronnie, if you would, either one of you, go out to, I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to type in a website. Anybody that has supported me, Ronnie, you just pledged your support. Belinda, you pledged your support, and thank you so much for that. If you'll go to that website I just put in the comments, that will take you directly to the Commit to Vote for Chris Lowery. That is a place that we are gathering all of our supporters in. And so that way we can communicate with you easier. We can also account for your vote. We can also, if you'll sign up for it, let you know about more information coming through the Lowery for Sheriff campaign about things we need you to do, or a place that you can volunteer and help us out with. So please go to that LoweryForSheriff.com/vote. And that'll be a place you could do that. Thank you so much. That's awesome to hear. 2 people on tonight that have pledged their support to me. Thank you so much. Selena, it was disclosed to me by ACIC that the administration has the choice to list level 1 and level 2 on public sites. A family member of mine was recently removed. However, he is still on the registry. Do you think you'd place everyone on the website for the sheriff's office, or would you allow it to remain how it is? What she's talking about there, I'm reading into that. I'm assuming you're talking about sex offender registry. So yes, Selena, I would say as I know the information right now, of course, there's always stuff that I don't know, and I would learn things, right? But as I understand it now, I would believe that anybody who is on the sex offender registry, level one, two, three, or four, that we would list all of them. I believe the public has a right to know. I believe that's part of safety. I believe that is part of the community being aware of what's going on, accurate monitoring. I firmly believe that. I think that it should be available for the law-abiding citizens to be aware. I would want to know if I had a sex offender living in my neighborhood or next door to me, not to have any reactionary parts to that, but more just of caution, right? And just aware because of the possibility of reoffending and that type of situation. So unless someone, as I become the sheriff, can educate me more on that. Matter of fact, I'm making a note of that right now because I want to double check what you told me. That is policy driven from agencies. But yes, to answer your question, the short answer is to it. Yes, I believe in putting all offenders on there. If they're a sex offender and they're on the registry, they should be out there for the public to know, so you could at least be aware of that. So let's see. You got my vote, got my sign in my front yard. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Lisa, so much, so much. And you pledged your vote. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. So also, while I have the opportunity, I want to bring it up because we're 78 days away. And I'll throw it up there here in a minute. We do have a fundraiser coming up September the 8th at Heston Stadium. September the 8th, Heston Stadium. It's going to be an awesome fish fry as put on Rice's Catering will be the ones providing the food for that. Come on out. You can get tickets for that at 6523 Dalloway Road. That's Diamond State Canine. I got them right there at the front counter. Plus, you can send me a message and I'll hand deliver some to you as well. They are $40 a ticket. Just understand that as you're running for office, it requires a financial obligation to be able to do certain things. And so we're just trying to raise some funds to be able to provide some of that stuff. Those signs are not cheap. Billboards aren't cheap. Radio ads, all the stuff. So any support that you can do, I would love to sell you a fundraising ticket. The fish fry, the food is going to be amazing. So it's well worth it. And then you're supporting your candidate here. I believe my team put it on our website today where you could go out there and electronically purchase the ticket. I have to double check that. Chris, if you're on here, let me know if that got done today or not. Thank you guys so much. So, all right. So as we move forward, here's something I want to talk about because we are 78 days away. And I read something today. Hang on. Let me, I read something today. This is where I want transparency, accountability, and clarification for all citizens of Jefferson County. Just because you read something, I don't want you to take it for the gospel. I want you to do your own research, right? So I read something today that talks about Jefferson County, the county sheriff's office has had a 16.31% reduction in overall crime. They've had a 12.7% reduction in major and violent crime. And then they've had 100% compliance in every state and federal jail inspection. So those are three things I want to talk about. So I'm going to share something with you. Give me just a second. I want to share something with you. So, because that was a Facebook post that I read to you. So I want to do this. All right, look right there. That is Jefferson County's crime and safety report as reported over the past 8 years. As it's from crimebycounty.com. Right here, you will see that we rank 73rd out of 75 counties. There's 2 counties worse than us according to this rating. There is a 5,064.7 above the per 100,000 residents above the national average. Then I want to share this with you as well. So I'm not sure where people are getting their rankings from or whatever. I do know that the sheriff's office allegedly, I say I know this, it's been reported that the sheriff's office does not count crime within municipalities. So, like, I'll give you an example. If there was a crime in Pine Bluff, that doesn't get reported through the sheriff's office, that gets reported through Pine Bluff. I understand that a little bit. However, I believe that the sheriff's office should be reporting on the whole crime as all of Jefferson County and working with those agencies to curtail crime for all of Jefferson County and within their municipality. So, and I'm going to give you an example. So last year there was 2 people killed in the jail. There's 2 homicides that happened in the jail. Those 2 numbers were reported as Pine Bluff crime stats. There were 2 homicides that got put on Pine Bluff crime stats, the statistical data for the Pine Bluff Police Department, the city limits of Pine Bluff. Now, tell me how those 2 homicides that occurred in a county building, in the county jail, under county supervision, under a county, I'll say a county jurisdiction. It's in the county, it's in a county building, ran by an elected official for the county. How do those crimes get put on Pine Bluff? So I say that to say that. It's not me pointing fingers. It's just when you see propaganda put out about numbers, understand there's more to it. I believe what they're reporting is probably somewhat accurate as far as numbers when you look at the unincorporated areas of Jefferson County. But I also, as I've been running for office for 10 months now, as I'm talking to these people in the unincorporated areas, some of them are even telling me they don't report the crime anymore because they're not getting a response. They're not getting a report when they do when they do report it. The deputies are just hiding behind a church. Those are things they're telling me today. And so it makes me wonder, it makes me go, okay, well, if 16.31% reduction overall crime has occurred over the past 7.5 years, how much of that is because, 1, we don't count the crime that's in these municipalities, and 2, how much of that is because people aren't reporting a crime, or 3, I'm probably fixing to make some people a little frustrated at me saying this, but I'll say it because I've experienced it working at multiple law enforcement agencies throughout my career, is that I'm going to give you an example. So let's say you come to a municipality or a law enforcement entity and you want to report a crime of where someone used your credit card, fraudulent use of a credit card. But that happened to be an unsolvable deal, like maybe somebody in Singapore or somebody in New York, somehow or another, your credit card number got stolen, used, and was fraudulently used, and you make that report. What I have personally seen time and time again is that agencies will do what they call an information report, which that is a report that will cure your need, will fulfill your need that you're filing this report for your financial institution, where you can turn it into them and saying that you show that you did report this as a crime, or you did report this to the police department or law enforcement entity that is servicing you, and you reported it. So you're satisfied with that because you don't know the intricacies or the nuances. But my understanding is that information reports do not get reported to NIBRS, which is our National Registry for our crime reporting statistics. And so if you had a crime committed against you and an information report was done, does it really go back to the to an accurate number of someone touting that they've lowered crime? I say not, and I'd be willing to have that conversation. So I want people to really look at the information that's put out there in any race that you're looking at. There's three big ones for Jefferson County. Matter of fact, there is a race tomorrow, the Republican primary for state representative. You need to exercise your right to vote, but research your candidates for any race that you are that is happening in your jurisdictions or in your voting precincts, and try to get a full picture and a full understanding of that before you cast your vote. Again, I go back to anybody who's met me. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed every bit of that. But those of you who have had something to say about me and never had an interaction with me, I truly hate that you feel that that's the way you need to make your decision. I encourage you to call me at 870-556-0330. Jump in here on my live, send me a message. Let's have a conversation about things going on in Jefferson County. So, Chris, I see you say the team hasn't got there yet. That's cool. Devin, Chris, if you could please get that on there for me. Thank you so much. I don't know how to do it. Devin's got a question here. County specific statistics should be for just that, the county. That's why everyone in the county votes and on the county positions, including sheriff, not just the people living in the unincorporated areas. Exactly, Devin. Thank you so much. That's what I was trying to get to. Is that it makes no sense to me, because ultimately the sheriff is the top law enforcement officer in the county that they are elected in. And so those statistical numbers fall underneath that jurisdiction. Now you can break it down. I mean, I'm all for that. If you want to show the areas that you're primarily responsible for and patrolling, that's cool. But you should have it, I don't know, let's say you had Jefferson County up here, right, as this with overall crime stats, and then you broke it down into unincorporated areas, Redfield, Whitehall, Humphrey or Altimer or Wabaseka, if they were running a police department where they kept up with their own stats, break that down. But at least then someone could see an accurate depiction, a clear, transparent, visible number that represents the county that they live in. And so that's what I want. That's how I would want the numbers reported, because I know as soon as I said that, there are going to be people chime in on Facebook, and they're going to make a comment, and they're going to say, well, the sheriff's not responsible for what goes on in Pine Bluff. Beg to differ. Okay. There is a police department. There is a chief of police, and there are many wonderful, wonderful police officers that work for the city of Pine Bluff, Whitehall, Redfield, so forth and so on. However, it's all part of a puzzle that comes together. Okay. And so with our current jail situation, where they're refusing lower level crimes, not fingerprinting, not booking, not taking pictures, not entering into APHIS, okay? When they're not doing that, those people are not held accountable for their crime. They leave, they go out, commit more crimes, they do another nonviolent crime, and then they get returned around again if they get arrested. And then it's a continual, perpetual cycle that increases crime. So you can say that the sheriff is not responsible for that, but he has a part to play in that with his agency and the lack of availability. The thing I want to look back at too, I'm going to show you this again. Hang on one second. Let's bring this back. So when you look at this number, look at the violent crime. 1,100% over the national average. Property crime, almost 4,000 above the national average. 73rd out of 75 counties. That should not be acceptable to us at all. Then I have another one that I want to do to you. Hang on a second. Let me, there's another one here. Yes. This is the one that I have shown this one before, but we'll go over here to it where you can see it. This is reported by crimegrade.org. All right. So here's overall crime. This is overall crime for Jefferson County. If you scroll down here, but overall crime, we got an F. Property crime, we got an F. Violent crime, we got an F. The other crime grade, an F. But look at this number right here. In 2025, this is what was reported by crimegrade.org. $101.3 million was the cost of crime for Jefferson County, Arkansas. In 2025, this is what they were reporting on. Crime is estimated to cost $3,976 per household. This is comparable. Here's the other counties. How much does crime cost in Jefferson County compared to other counties? Jefferson County, Arkansas is $1,501. Pulaski County, $1,012. Saline County, $442. Arkansas County, $729. And for the rest of the country, it's $464 per household. And if you look across there, across all crime types, the projected cost of crime in Jefferson County, Arkansas, 2025 is $101,253,820. That's about $1,500 per resident and $3,976 per household. That equals 5.9% of the median household income. These figures cover tangible costs, which include the criminal justice system, law enforcement, courts, and imprisonment, 48.3%. Direct cost to the victims, damaged property, medical expenses, lost wages, 40.2%. And lost economic contribution from offenders, time in prison or repeat offenses, 11.4%. And that all comes from crimegrade.org. And so I say that to say this to you. If right now your employer told you that they wanted to give you a raise of $3,900, almost $4,000, if they want to give you a raise of $3,976, I think you would be very ecstatic about that. And I was doing some research earlier. I'm pulling up a calculator here to give you the real deal. So I was doing some research earlier in the week, latter part of last week, a few days ago. So earlier, the research that I was conducting talks about $100 per month can directly impact a family positively, but $300 per household can dramatically affect a family's needs and successes in life positively. So when you look at that number that they're reporting on the crimegrade.org, that comes out to be $331.33 a month. So idealistically, we can positively impact, we have the potential to impact economically every family in Jefferson County. So all crime matters, all crimes should be reported. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see, it looks like I got some questions here. I think those questions and statements made based on misinformation is strategic, Chris, because once you answer the question or give a statement, a lot of them don't respond to what was said. Some of them come back with something unsustained. Again, it's mostly something they heard, came back, and said to you, I heard is hearsay, and always look to the facts before you disbelieve something. Looking at the history of the sheriff's department will tell you a lot about what qualifications look like. Absolutely. So, by the law, by as current standings, both people running for the position of sheriffs are qualified. Um, but I'm going to say I am here to run a better department with better leadership to serve the citizens of Jefferson County better than they have been in the past 8 years. Enough is enough. Let's move the rock. Let's make that change. Let's see. Camille Burns. We need someone new that is actually going to do something, especially in our jail. Got my vote. Thank you, Camille. Please make sure you go to Lowery for Sheriff that's tagged in these comments, LoweryForSheriff.com/vote and register. Make sure you fill out that commitment to vote that you, if you would, also tag yourself to be able to get text messages and updates of anything going on with the Jefferson County or with Lowery for Sheriff campaign. Thank you so much. If you would like a sign in your yard, if you would like to have me come speak to a group, let me know. You can jump it right here in the comments right now. Send me a message. You can text me at 870-556-0330. And I'll be glad to work with you on that. Selena, going back to your question, I kind of got sidetracked there a little bit. If you're still on here, Selena, how say you? What's your thoughts on the registry? Be interested to hear from you on that. All right. So as we move forward here, I just want to be clear. I want to be clear about what I was talking about is that just make sure that you are 100% researching your candidates and the correct information that's put out there. So, there was also a statement out there that, I don't know, the way I read it was actually a little misleading as well. Anyway, we both are CLES certified. We both hold senior certificates, which is the highest level of certification in the state of Arkansas. We both got 20 plus years of law enforcement experience. But where we differ is our leadership, is our accountability, is our visibility. I'm not a politician. I'm a lawman here to serve you, the citizens of Jefferson County. As you've seen, every Monday, I make myself available on a live to answer your questions, earn your support. That will continue throughout my administration. I put my telephone number out there to have conversations with anybody and everybody who wants to call me, 870-556-0330. During my time as running for office, I've never in my life would have thought that an elected official of any sort, whether it was a sheriff or a JP, would not be available to his constituents. But I am here to be transparent, accountable, visible to you. Let's see, George. Yeah, George, shoot me a message if you want me to. I'll come by and sell you some tickets. Or I think Chris, my campaign manager, is going to get them up on the site hopefully today. Let's see, Kathy, I wish all the untrue, nasty name calling would stop. This is not helping any citizen. Agree. It's all about moving forward with Jefferson County as positively as we can for all citizens. Let's see, Selena, I think everyone needs to be listed. Also, let's talk about aliases. By our state's laws, aliases should be publicly stated with their information if they're a level 3 and level 4. There are discrepancies on social media names being aliases. There are some individuals who are on the sex offender registry in Jefferson County that go by their alias on Facebook. However, not everyone's alias is listed. So I will tell you what I will do with that. Number one, I don't know who is in charge of Jefferson County Sex Offender Registry, but right now, meaning who at the sheriff's office is accounting for that information and the reporting of the different levels of folks to the sheriff's office. We'll find that out. We'll make sure that they're well-trained and well-versed and have a clear expectation of what needs to happen for the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office to not only be compliant to ACIC, but also be accountable to all of our citizens in Jefferson County and the state of Arkansas. So there's that. But I also have great resources, friends, and coworkers that have done that job for many, many years. There's a guy I used to work side by side with daily, that did that job for, I don't know, 8, 10 years. Still heavily known as one of the experts within the sex offender registry field, and I will definitely be picking his brain on that. I have it on a note right here about the sex offender stuff that I'll be following up on. It was a great question. So let's see. Selena says, I asked for the manager over the sex offender registry today at 2:22 p.m. and the woman stated her name was Ashley. And that was at the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Is that correct? But I do think that's important. I mean, I have one living in my neighborhood, and I wanted to know that information. I would have not have thought that it would have been very fair to me as a property owner when I went to buy my house if I didn't have the availability to know that in my neighborhood that we had someone like that, someone on the registry there. So we agree on that for sure. Yes. So you said that was Ashley at the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Okay. Well, hopefully they can give you an answer on why that is. If not, you can file what violations you have. I think you could reach out to ACIC. You and I can talk offline about that as well. I can put you in contact with that great friend of mine that ran the program for 8, 10 years. I think he'd be more than willing to explain to you what he understands they should be doing. And he did it. I'll tell you, he did it at the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. So he had a large number of sex offenders that he was responsible for in a big program. So that might be a resource that if you just want to talk to him, I'll set that up, Selena, so you can find out some more information for sure. So, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we get back to it, I just want to make sure that I'm clear that there is a very clear, defined difference between me as your new candidate and the availability, transparency, accountability, and people that have met me would be able to tell you that at some point during our conversation, not only am I asking to earn their vote now, but I'm asking them to hold me accountable once I get in office. And I feel like that's truly where we have gone off the rails here in Jefferson County at different elected officials' positions. Because to me, it does not make sense at all that we have mothers and families demanding answers about situations that occurred with their loved ones under their care, custody, and control. Those families still reporting as of today, 10 months later, well, not 10 months, not 8 to 9 months later, that they've not gotten the answers that they look for. There's issues that go back over 2 years, 3 years, that they're not getting the answers that they're looking for, that they're, and it's not the information that they want to hear, but it's the information they need to hear. And so that's what I've said at every time I go out and meet someone. I'm asking to earn your vote, to allow you to know me, my platform, tough and accountable on crime, safe, efficient jail operations, collaboration and cooperation with local, state, and federal agencies, and then community involvement, community-oriented policing in all communities, parts of the incorporated areas, the cities, municipalities, and then the unincorporated areas as well. I've talked about this at length about all of my employees will be given a minimum of 2 hours a week on the clock to be able to participate within community organized activities to build those relationships, build those bridges back up between the community and law enforcement. And that's throughout the entire county. And I will push that. And then the last thing that of my platform is utilizing my leadership and experience. So I recently retired from the United States Air Force and Air National Guard after 24 years of service. where I had the fortunate opportunity, one of the best jobs I ever had, is to be a first sergeant for the United States Air Force, where I was in charge of the health, morale, and welfare of 180 personnel in the United States Air Force. And I feel like that job within itself, combined with my law enforcement experience, is merging me to be the best sheriff that Jefferson County has had, because I have the leadership capabilities, the law enforcement training and experience to merge that with the health, morale, and welfare of our county constituents and help us move forward, move that rock into a positive direction. Not everything in Jefferson County is negative. That's not what I'm trying to say, but we could do so much better. And it all stems around the operation of that jail, the enforcement of laws, and the availability, transparency, and accountability to our elected officials. All of that is right daggum in the middle of what can change Jefferson County. Nobody gets out and runs a campaign the way you've been doing since day one. They really aren't attempting. They really aren't attempting to exact change 100%. You're passionate about serving Jefferson County, and I honestly believe that. Absolutely. TZ, I would not be doing this if I was not passionate about it. People who know me, I'm 52. I'll be 53 by the time I take office for Jefferson County. And the one thing that people will tell you is that I am very passionate about what I believe in, and I'm passionate about what I do. My name is my bond, and when I tell you I'm going to do it, I do it. And that's why when I considered running and then ultimately made the decision to run, I was all gas, no brakes, 100% committed. I'm in this every day. I'm in it every day that I will be earning your vote. I'm in it every day when I'll be serving you as your sheriff. And then I'll even be in it afterwards when I decide to retire, because Jefferson County needs good leadership, good citizens to make us a better community. Kevin, that's right. I'm not a half-ass person. That's correct. I'm all in all the time on what I believe in, and I believe that the change that needs to come within Jefferson County in 2026, ladies and gentlemen, let me just put it to you like this: we must enact change in 2026. If we don't change it in 2026, I don't know that we will ever change it. Now is the time. You've had that sheriff for 7.5 years, a little over 7.5 years. You know what you got with this sheriff. You're going to be getting a new county judge, and you have to elect a new prosecutor because our current prosecutor is retiring. Now is the time, like no other, to bring about change for the positivity of Jefferson County. Every vote counts. Every vote matters. Every voice should be heard. If you're not a registered voter, I need you to become a registered voter. If you're one of those people that believe your vote don't count, let me tell you, in local politics, you could be not more incorrect on believing that. There is 2 people in each one of these races that I just spoke about, and it can come down to 1 vote. Every vote matters. Every vote counts. Every citizen's voice of a registered voter needs to be heard. If you're not registered, you've got to do that. You can come by 6523 Dalloway Road. We have voter registration cards. I will be hosting a voter registration drive here before too long. One of my team members is coordinating that. He's handing out cards daily right now. If you need one and don't have time to do it, you can come by to 6523 Dalloway Road and get one, or you can go to the county clerk's office down at the Jefferson County Courthouse and get one, fill it out, and turn it in right there. It's less than 5 minutes. It is worth your time, worth your vote, because Jefferson County needs you. I made a post the other day on Facebook, and that's exactly what it said. Jefferson County needs you. You know, I'm the one with the courage to run, the experience to lead Jefferson County as the Jefferson County Sheriff, but we need you. We need your help. We need your support. We need your vote. Jefferson County, it's easy for people to talk about change, but to guide that change, you have got to be able to step out there, say it loud and proud, support your candidate, and be a registered voter. Those are the three things minimum you got to do to bring about change. Because I will tell you, there has not been a conversation that I have had with anyone, and I mean this, there's not been a conversation I've had with anyone that I recall that has said anything about not wanting change. I've seen people, they're not necessarily supporting me, they're undecided, but they still say we got to have change. They'll say that our current sheriff we got to have change. And so the way they imply that is he needs to change how he does certain things, or we got to vote somebody else in new that's changed. Well, I stand on this and say this: change is me. Change is bringing me in as your next sheriff, your 33rd sheriff of Jefferson County. Hold me accountable for the promises I've made through this campaign, through all of these lives, through the in-person visits, through the videos, through the text messages, to the telephone calls, to the church visits, to the organizational visits. Hold me accountable on these promises that I've told you about. And we will thrive and be a better Jefferson County for it. Change equals better Jefferson County, point blank. So, as always, I want you to remember to talk to your friends, your neighbors, your loved ones, your neighbor to your left, your neighbor to your right, your neighbor across the street, your church neighbor, your church family, your coworkers. Talk to them about bringing about change within Jefferson County, bringing about the change that is needed in our jail, the change that's needed in our leadership, the change that will directly drive Jefferson County in a positive direction. I'm fixing to share another screen with you guys. I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to see that, so bear with me just a second. All right, so right here is the fundraiser that I talked about. This is my fish fry. Let me get rid of that banner. All right, so this is my fish fry. This is going to happen on September the 8th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Heston Stadium. It's going to be catered by Rice's. Tickets are $40. This will support our efforts to bring about change. And when I say our efforts, that's yours too. I am here to represent you as the next sheriff of Jefferson County. It takes funds to do this. I ask if you're able, please support our campaign by purchasing one or more of these tickets. Have you a great meal. Come in, have food, have dinner with me. Let's have a conversation and support the candidate for Jefferson County Sheriff that's independent, that has the leadership and experience that will bring about change. I am not part of any political clique. I am not part of any political party, regardless of what people say. I am truly an independent, and that's what I feel like the citizens of Jefferson County deserve. Partisan politics has no play in the sheriff's position, and that's what we currently have, combined with some cliques, good old boys, and cronyism, and you don't have that with me. I'm the new guy to elected official positions here in Jefferson County, but I'm not new to Jefferson County. I'm not new to law enforcement. I'm not new to leadership. I'm here to serve every citizen of Jefferson County. I say it often like this: from the courthouse steps to the county line, I will serve each and every one of you and bring about the change that is needed, that is lawful within Jefferson County. With your help, bringing us into office on election night, November 3rd, 2026. That's my fish fry right there. Again, that's going to be September the 8th, 6 to 8 p.m. At Heston Stadium, catered by Rice's. Be a great fish dinner. I encourage you all to get out there. Anybody who has some friends or family that think they could sell some tickets for me, let me know. I can set you up with the opportunity to go out and help support our campaign by going and selling some of these tickets. It does take money to run a campaign. I don't want to, beat that dead horse too much. But I do want you to understand that, signs, radio, advertisement, push cards, all the things that go with campaign and campaign finance, it does require a financial obligation. And I appreciate you guys so much for supporting me in my endeavor to be your next sheriff of Jefferson County. So, is there any other questions that we would like to get out tonight? If so, feel free to go ahead and shoot them in our comments. I say this to everybody in case there's some people out there that just are watching in private. All questions deserve answers. No questions too tough. I welcome the question. All I ask is that we do it respectfully. We do that as adults, and we do that without fighting. If that happens, the question will be ignored, and we'll bump on. But we are 78 days away, ladies and gentlemen, 78 days away from each and every one of you to be able to deliver one of the most powerful rights you have in our country, and that's to vote for representation to represent you in our local government, from sheriff to county judge to prosecuting attorney. Pete, you made me laugh. Eat more fish. Absolutely. So hopefully you'll be able to come on out, get you a fish dinner, Pete. I appreciate the support. I know you like some good catfish, and Rice has had some pretty daggum good catfish. So I've had it multiple times. It's really, really good. So look forward to that. Spread the word where you can. We got tickets at 6523 Dalloway Road. That's Diamond State Canine. Those tickets are available for sale there. Just going in and see me or Kathy or Devin, and we'll get you hooked up for that. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Is there any other questions tonight? Give a few minutes for that. So tomorrow I'll be out campaigning. I'm back from vacation. I am 78 days dedicated of every day going in and out of this community, doing something to earn your vote. If you would like to meet with me, if you'd like to have a discussion with me, let me know. I will come out and meet you one-on-one or in a group. We will have whatever conversation you want to for you to know more about me, understand my platform, more about me personally and professionally, and answer all your questions as an opportunity to earn your vote. So tomorrow I will be out in the afternoon for sure, going out in the Cheryl and Alzheimer community. I'm looking forward to that. Spoke with some folks today, and they asked me to come on by, so I'll be going out there tomorrow and look forward to that. I'll probably, because I've been gone away for about 4 or 5 days, my usual spot is at Lucky's Cafe tomorrow morning. I'll plan on being there around 7:30. I'd like to have a couple of eggs to get the day started off. It's a great breakfast spot. Going in there. And if you want to come by and have coffee with the candidate, please feel free to come on by and let's have that conversation. I'll buy you a cup of coffee and we'll talk about the issues and an opportunity to earn your vote. So doesn't look like we have any more questions on here. So just remember, look up the information yourself, things that you read, things that you hear, check it out, check the stats, compare them, and see with what you're being told matches up with what's actually being reported. I think you'll be surprised at the information you find when you just put out a little bit of due diligence on your part. So thank you so much. As always, it's been a pleasure for joining me on my live. I enjoy these every Monday. Remember, next Monday, we'll be live again for Real Talk, Real Change. I am Chris Lowery, your independent candidate for Jefferson County Sheriff, November of 2026. Our early voting starts October 19th with the election day on November 3rd of 2026. If you need me, call me at 870-556-0330. Text me, call me, shoot me a message on Facebook, leave a comment. I'll try to follow up with as many comments as I can, but sometimes there becomes thousands of comments and it gets kind of lost. But I'll be glad to answer you any way that I can. And so, as always, we're going to close out of here tonight after being on a little over an hour. I just want to remind you, God bless Jefferson County.